It started with a star going dark. Not just any star, Alpha Pavonis, the radiant heart of the southern spiral, orbited by lush worlds and bustling trade stations. Its blue-white brilliance had inspired poets and navigators for centuries, guiding ships across the void. The Accord sent probes, then warships, then diplomats. She remembered the warnings her mother once whispered, "Every tragedy brings a tide." She prepped her team, patching aging ships, calling in favors from lunar shipyards, waking her old college roommate to coordinate translation eyes. By the time the first refugees limped into orbitalian freighters burning emergency thrusters, civilian liners leaking air, whole families clinging to Hopava, and her volunteers were ready. Nobody wanted to admit it, but fear crawled through every broadcast. If something could simply erase a star, what could it do to the rest of them? Below her, a patchwork of ships, human, alien, even one shaped like a crystal rose, clung together in the darkness. She remembered the first time she saw stars from orbit, that sense of infinite promise. In the age before memory, we used sacrifice and paradox to bind it. Now, she wondered if she'd live to see them fade. As Pilot, a teenaged girl with scaled skin and green eyes, clutched a relic, an alien music box, playing a tune no human ear had ever heard. The crew's sensors showed something extraordinary. The shadow shrank away from the music's random notes, flickering in confusion. The result was bedlam. Physicists argued with musicians. Kids scribbled fractal equations on the walls. They aimed the station's deep space array at the advancing darkness. As they waited, Ava wondered if the plan was mad enough to work or just the galaxy's last, wild act of defiance. Leo programmed the food replicators to spit out nonsense recipes, each bite a surprise. The Hope signal launched, crackling across the void in a symphony of madness. Old, forbidden art forms, wild atonal jazz, improvisational dance. Computer viruses that painted colors across ship hulls blossomed like wildfire. Lights flickered, gravity wobbled, and strange echoes haunted the hall's voices from vanished worlds, visions of lost friends. Children set off confetti cannons. Hackers rewrote shipboard eyes to recite poetry. No other people have ever fought the void with joy. And the light, fragile and new, pulsed back into the places where hope had died. The shadow retreated to the ancient rift, where Seraphian and human ships now stood guard. Humanity became the galaxy's wild card, the ones who brought chaos and hope where none could flourish. And somewhere, far beyond the rift, something ancient watched and wondered. The void hunger would return someday. But so would the dance, the music, the stubborn, joyful, unpredictable spark that no darkness could swallow. And somewhere someone painted Ava's portrait on the station wall in 10 colors, adding a bright smile she hadn't worn in weeks. Panic surged. Ava grabbed the mic, shouting above the chaos. This is what it wants. Confusion, fear. Show it what it means to be alive. The station's screens filled with static, then resolved into kaleidoscopic patterns. The refugees gathered, watching as in real time, the darkness buckled under the weight of humanity's chaos. Rival species joined hands, forging new alliances, trading stories and songs. Leo served spicy stew to a table of reptilians and crystalline seraphians, arguing about flavor. Ronnie started a school for kids of every species, teaching them how to code, cook, and create. Ava watched the party from the deck, tears streaming down her cheeks. Welders sealed new docking arms, drones carried food packets and blankets, translators hovered over babbling comms, and Ava, with her signature short hair and tired eyes, moved through the chaos with practiced grace. The Seraphians were living prisms, older than most known civilizations, and moved with slow, melodic grace. Liren's voice was a shimmer in Ava's mind, colors and harmonies blending with words. We remember this darkness. It is not death, but unmaking. Once, we sealed it away at a terrible cost. The aliens spoke in hushed voices of the darkest shadow wave devouring ships, unmaking planets, swallowing entire suns without sound or warning. They called it the void hunger, and it was spreading. Rumors of sabotage and despair blossomed. Ronnie broke up a fight in the supply bay. Leo barricaded the kitchens, and Ava slept in brief snatches, haunted by dreams of darkness eating the world. Her right hand, Rani Patel, organized medical triage in 3 languages. The Martian chef, Leo Cruz, cooked vast pots of spicy stew, arguing with a reptilian botanist over the right amount of salt. If order fed the void, perhaps chaos could starve it. One morning, astronomers noticed a flicker. By afternoon, the star was gone. Not an explosion, not a supernova, just a void, a perfect sphere of absence where light and hope had once burned. The galaxy reeled. On Earth, the headlines spun theories. But for Ava Reyes, director of the Human Galactic Relief Corps, the star's silence was just the beginning. The military blockaded threatened systems, while the science corps beamed theories into the black.
Ow.
But none of it slowed the shadow's march. People watched in horror as another star, then another, flickered and died. Her orbital command center pulsed with motion. But the stories they heard chilled them. The Accord's leadership met in endless sessions, arguing over treaties and ancient prophecies. During a rare quiet shift, Ava stood on the observation deck, mug of coffee trembling in her hand. A high-pitched chime startled her from her thoughts. Seraphian Ambassador Liren had arrived. Ava pressed for answers, but Liren could only give ancient warnings. It cannot be fought with force. It consumes order, feeds on predictability. As the shadow crept toward Sol, panic threatened to overwhelm the station. On the 3rd night, a battered cargo vessel drifted in. Ava's mind sparked. She called a council, inviting every scientist, artist, and wildcard aboard. Ronnie's AI stitched their efforts into a signal. A storm of unpredictable music, art, numbers, and joy. The shadow arrived at Neptune. Ships vanished in its wake, light bent around the darkness, like water down a drain. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, the shadow trembled. The nearest edge twisted, colors flickering, edges unraveling. But the fight wasn't over. The void struck back, sending waves of entropy through the station. So they danced. Humans and aliens alike filled the docking bays, moving to Leo's wild drum beats and the Seraphian's rainbow songs. Outside, the darkness shrank further, retreating toward the old sealed rift at Alpha Pavonis. Liren joined Ava, their voice trembling with awe. As the last wave of entropy passed, the station's sensors showed something miraculous. Stars reappeared, ships reconnected, the Accord shocked.
Ow.
Then Jubilant declared a universal holiday. Later, Liren approached her, offering a memory crystal. You did not just save your own, you saved us all. Ava shook her head. It wasn't just me. It was everyone who refused to let fear win. In the years that followed, the legend grew. So, when things seemed lost, the oldest wisdom of all became new again. When the universe grows cold and silent, find a human. Tell them it can't be done. Then watch what happens next.